Hello, this is Blackboard Essentials for Instructors, and we're going to talk today about exploring course structure and content creation. Welcome again. For today's webinar, we want to provide a foundation for navigating Blackboard. We also want to enhance teaching and learning experiences with unlocking the potential of Blackboard for creating engaging on-live environments. That's why we are going to show you how to review your course structure, identify benefits of learning modules, create content and upload files, and understand the various blocks of content. Whether you are an instructor who wants to create engaging courses or a student eager to make the most out of your learning journey, Blackboard provides you with the tools and resources to succeed. Let's start with the course structure overview here. So you have different options to upload to your course as components. You can add content items, and that will be links, files, create documents, put them together within a container as learning modules or folders. You can also create assessments, and we have various options for you as assignment, test, and you can also create forms within your course. And last but not least, you will be able to create participation and engagement items as discussions or journals, even an AI conversation if you have or if your institution has the AI design assistant enabled. And you can also turn them into an assessment item. So you'll be plenty of options to add into your course. Let's check this course content view. This is how you're going to experience your ultra course environment. You'll see a top menu, and I'm going to explore that in just 1 minute. You also see a banner in your course, and you can decide if you want to show that into the course or just in the course card. You'll see the course content area where every content item will appear. Here, we are showing things inside learning modules. And on the right hand side of your screen, the not only the course faculty but the details and actions menu. With this, you can find everything you need within your course, and this will be pretty much the default view that you'll get upon entering a course. If we jump into that top menu that you'll find, here is really important that this is pretty much the same menu that your students will see. There's just a couple of tabs maybe that they are not able to see as analytics and some others, but the structure is pretty much the same. And this is something we really want. So we keep consistency through the different courses students are getting. So in this area, you'll find the content tab or where to add to your content in your course. Also an access to the course calendar. The next tab will be announcements where you can create and send announcements to your whole class, and also you can keep drafts of them or schedule them, and your students will be able to check previous announcements here too. Then a discussion tab where your students and you can find together every discussion that have been created in your course. In the gradebook tab, students will have their own gradebook, grades, scores, and feedback, and you'll be able to track also the whole class gradebook and your task as an instructor or grader. You can check what you have or what needs grading or what needs posting. Then you'll have the message tab. Here's where you can contact individual students or maybe a group students that you need to follow up with them, or maybe provide a specific feedback about the whole learning process or answer questions. Here's where your students can send message to you, also maybe asking some questions or comments. Then you'll have the analytics tab where you see reports when you can track your students performance, and you'll have some other cool analytics there. The Groups tab, where you can create and manage the groups that have been created in your course to add them into assignments or discussion boards. And the last tab that is not here that maybe you will see is Achievements, if your institution has that option enabled to show progress towards goals that are assigned to your course items. Let's check now course settings. That could be fine or could be found at the top right of your course area. So you need to jump back to your content tab and check this view. Here at the top right, you'll find those course settings. If your environment it's available, if your institution has enabled this. In here, you'll see an overview of managing course access, and you'll see the course state settings. And it is great because you can see administrative tasks and enhance usability through your course. If you check on the course access and the different statuses here, you could find three different statuses. Open, this means that the course content is available to students. Closed, when the course content is not available to students, and complete, when no changes can be made by students or instructors. There are some other additional tools that you can check in here based on your institution availability. Then you'll find the Details and Actions menu, and this is on your right hand side on your course. You'll see the course faculty area, where you can track who's enrolled with you as an instructor, maybe teaching assistants, graders, or any other roles here. And also, your students can identify that you are their instructor, and they'll see any specific quick access to messages, so they can write a message to you and they don't need to remember who's the instructor, or maybe look for the messages tab for it. Then, under Details and Actions, the first option that you'll find, and also your students, will be Roster. Here you can view who's enrolled in your course, and also you can check basic information of other users. As an instructor, you can make accommodations for students here. You can also message users, and your students can view the roster but not accommodations. Under progress tracking, this could be enabled anytime during the term, and the idea is that instructors and students can track progress. We're going to talk a little bit more about this option later in this webinar. Then you'll find the course image, and I barely mentioned this before when I show you the course banner. You can use this image as a banner inside the course if you prefer. You can include image description for accessibility, and always this display as course card thumbnail on the courses page. So this is great for your students to identify your course. If you don't add any course image, Blackboard will assign default image for you. Then you'll see the attendance tool again if your institution has this enabled for you. If you go through the attendance, clicking on mark attendance, you'll see the default view. Here is where you can mark today's attendance if you open that in the same date of the session that you had. And then you can change to overall view, where displays attendance history and overall grade for that. When you mark attendance, that will be included also as a column in your gradebook. Then you'll find Book and Tools option here. That's where you can access integrated content solutions from third-party tools. We're going to mention a little bit more about this later too. And at the bottom, you'll find question banks. Here's where you create question banks to be used or reused into your test. So make sure that you create them, you can import them, and if your institution has AI Design Assistant enabled, you can also generate those question banks. Now, let's think how to organize your course content now that you know the course outline structure. First step will be to decide the course structure and organization that works for your program or department. You may have an institution template that already include this. And it is important for you to stop and think about that structure if you are creating it or if you receive it, just to make sure that you are creating your content or rearranging your content following this specific strategy. So there are three organizational approaches. You can have a chronological approach where you can have different modules or learning modules that each of them will mark a week or a specific chronological time. So you can have, for example, weekly readings or assignments in it. You can add lecture notes or discussion forums that are assigned for a specific week following your course calendar. You can also follow a subject area strategy. And in this case, you'll have learning modules or containers following specific subjects or topics with related materials. So, in this case, for this course that we are using as an example, we have three specific topics as intro, then going organic, and nutritional facts as the three main topics or chapters here. And the last strategy or approach that you can use will be content type. And that depends on your course. Maybe if you're an on ground course and you are just using the platform as a support of your classes, you can have a learning module to put together lectures, other for readings, and maybe a last one for assessments or specific resources. So the students will identify where those are in the course structure. And if you see here for this, we are showing learning modules for this as a container. So it is important to identify how to create course content, how to start with containers, and maybe what you can create inside them. So let's check content types that you'll have available here. You can create different types. You can create native Blackboard items, as I'm showing here, learning modules or folders as containers. And then you can start adding resources. You can add resources through a Blackboard document in it, or maybe creating a link to external or internal items in your course. You can also connect to LTI or using the content market in it. And then you can also upload files. You can upload pre created content, maybe a Word document or a PDF. You can also import and copy content from other courses. So I'll show you where to find those options. And then when you're ready with this, you can create your test assignments. And as I said before, you can create also discussions and journals. So you'll plenty of options here to make sure that you are creating a great experience for your students within your course. After you have decided your approach to organize your course, you'll see that you'll have your learning modules here at the top with the image that is just for learning modules and title and maybe a short description for clarify to your students what's inside so they know how to explore the course. Then if you use the chevron, that will be for learning modules and also for folders if you're using them to put together items. You can expand what's inside the learning module. In this case, you and your students can find items as documents, maybe assignments or any other assessment. And here, if you need to add a second level of folders for better organization, you can create them within learning modules. So you prevent students from getting lost in your course and you provide an easier content management for them. So, how to add those items into your course if you want to start creating content here? You'll find between items or between modules, as I have here in this image, the plus icon. I have here one. If you click there, the plus icon, you'll see this great menu that give you the options to start adding items. I'm going to go through this today. If you click or use the create option, you'll be opening the create items panel to select and create Blackboard items that we have mentioned before: documents, links, containers, assessments, engagement, and participation items too. If your institution has the auto-generate modules, you'll be able to create them through the AI design assistant, and that's also covered in another session of webinar. So make sure that you register for that one if you are interested in know how to auto-generate modules. Then you'll find the copy content option for you to be able to copy items from a previous course. You'll need to be enroll in other courses as an instructor to be able to copy from, and those courses could be original courses or ultra Blackboard courses too. So you'll good. We want you to save time if you have already created items in another course. You can copy documents, files, assessments, participation and engagement items. You can also copy question banks, announcements, even grading schemas and rubrics if you have them. You can also upload from your local device if you have that Word document or PDF that you want to show to your students. If you use a cloud storage provider, you can also upload your files from there. And if you, depending on your institution content market, you'll be able to select from different third-party integrations, and I'll show you some examples later. Also, you'll be able to use your content collection if your institution uses that to select different files that you would like to add to your course. So let's start checking some options here. If you're creating a document within your course, this is pretty much the first layout that you'll find, maybe an empty one. I already have some content here to show you. So that document will have first an empty title that you need to add here. We have added identifying organic food as this document title, and you'll find pretty much some other options here. We're going to be focused on the options to add content. So you'll find the menu bar to close the content blocks, undo and redo inside your document, and cancel or save the editing that you are doing in your document. On the left side, you'll find the different content blocks that are available to add to your document. And after you have included a block, you'll see this menu for each block added to move it, to resize it, and expand or shrink in it. So you can resize and moving those blocks if you click on these six points here to drag and drop. And if you need to delete it, you'll find that option here too. But let's focus on the different blocks available for you to add into your document. You can start adding a content block. This is how you can add content via the content editor that I'm going to show you so also in a bit. Then you can decide also if you want to add an HTML content. This is adding content via HTML or CSS. You can also embed some iframes from external apps. If you have a file that you want to upload here and share with your students, you will be able also to select that file from your local device, from the cloud provider or cloud storage, or from the content collection. Let's say you have added some content in it, you have text through the content blog, you have images, you have some videos, and then you want to provide your students the opportunity to check their knowledge through short questions. So those will be formative questions for your students to know how, if they are understanding the topic or if they need to review something there. So you'll be able to add knowledge checks here with this block option. You can also add an image from here or also using the content editor. And if your institution has the audio and video option. This is a premium solution within Blackboard. If that's available in your institution, you will be able to record or upload audio and video within documents. So you'll plenty of options here. Also, if you have a Word document or PDF with your content already in it and you want to add it or convert it into a document file, you'll find the option to convert file. You just select that Word or a specific file that you have in your local device, and that file will be converted into a document here. So that will be just a two steps process for you. Let's say you select the content block or yeah to add content via the content editor. This is how that will look like after you have selected. You'll have a text editor, plenty of options for you to add content to your students. You'll see that you'll have a great text editor toolbar and you can control over content look and feel. So you'll be able to create lists, you can format text style here, you can even use a math editor, you can create links with the different options, you can insert images within the content editor, you can add video from the web or even attach files. The most common used text formatting functions will be typing and pasting content here in this area. You can also change the text style. You can use the text style drop down menu or select from these options here where you can change header and subheader styles so you can assist with accessibility. You can select from different font styles and also sizes and colors. So you will be able to create to apply even bold, italic, underline, strike through, superscript and subscript here. So make sure that you explore the different options here for the text. With that, will be much more clear for your students what you are adding to the course. You'll find option also to undo or even clear format if you have added lots of formatting here. As I mentioned before, you can also upload or create links to external websites so you can maybe suggest the students to check on some specific material while they are reviewing that content. You can insert local files as a link or embed inline here. And if you check on the insert content drop down menu here within the plus icon, you'll find some other options as YouTube videos. If you use the content collection, it is right here, or even the content market if you're using some third party provider material to include within your document. So if you select to insert media, you'll find some different options here. You can browse also and add video content directly in the editor. You can display those videos as links, or you can even embed the video to appear alongside other content. I think this is great because definitely the document will be like your first and most used tool within the course. This is turning your student experience into a really learning experience, maybe not just checking files as if the course were just a drive to storage file. So this is really showing and presenting content to them that will be much more useful and fun to them. That's within the content block. If you're selecting HTML block, you'll find it if it's enabled on your system based on your admin or your institutional preferences. It is a standalone editor with all their capabilities, and you can format content with HTML or CSS. You can also embed iframes if you select it here. If you want to use the video studio, you'll have different great features. You can upload or record audio and video within documents, and this will help you promote engaging learning experience. You'll see that you can enable your camera or just audio. You can even share your screen or keep this as audio and screen if maybe if you have already video that you have recorded previously, you can also upload those from your device. So you can create those within a document. This will be a block option for the video studio, and you'll you can just engage your students with a more human presence and some other tools to explain or to clarify some topics within your course. Just again, remember this feature needs to be enabled by your institution due to it is a premium feature. All right. I mentioned before that you can add knowledge checks. So this is pretty much how that will look like. After you add that knowledge check block, you'll be able to create a multiple choice question, and you'll see two different tabs there. The first one to add the question text and set up the options. You can keep adding options, maybe from two if you want to convert this into a true false question, or keep adding options for a multiple choice experience. If you or not if you, but it is great that you have the option to always add correct answer feedback and incorrect answer feedback. These two are mandatory. We really want your students to receive feedback to make sure they are going in the right way, understanding the content. After you save this into your documents in your course, you'll be able to check some statistics or metrics in this other tab here. So you can track number of students that have answered that knowledge check, the overall attempts, the average attempts to correct answer, and the maximum attempts to correct answer too. And also, you'll see a level of difficulty metric here for you to keep editing or enhancing those questions within your course. This is not related to gradebook. This is formative experience, and it is not possible to track the specific student that answered it, but it is a great experience for your students and definitely something pretty engaging. Next option will be LTI or content market, and other option for content. And this is what you'll find in the plus icon drop down menu here to add content to your course. And also is the same that we are displaying here under details and actions menu as book and tools. So your institution may enable additional tools via LTI as popular tools from Microsoft, Google. Many textbook publishers will be there too. So you can create your activities or content selecting that option from book and tools, and then when you would like to add that into your course content, just select content market. You can discuss with your Blackboard administrator which options your institution may have for enabling and embedding content from external tools. And then you'll find the different options to upload files. I mentioned that you can upload that from your local device or select a cloud storage provider if you have that in the cloud, and that will provide a copy of your file. It is not real-time synced file. It is just a copy to save some time to you to add that to your course. And if you use the content collection that from Blackboard, that will be also included here as an option into this menu. There's something important now that we are going through the course structure, and is that your course will look very different to your students, and that's okay. You'll check in an instructor view of those items. So always check your student preview to see how your course will look and act for learners. Also, learners will not be able to see items that are hidden or content that is restricted. The idea is to help students and instructors to have the best of the course and clarify those different purposes. So make sure that course design and functionality in your course is the way you need it. You'll find the student preview option at the top right on your course, and you can start that student preview clicking on Start Preview. This will create an student user within your course that will be auto-enrolled You can also check that in your roster. You can use it to submit work, not only navigate and check documents or content, but you can use it to submit or to create submissions and attempts for a test or assignments. You can check how the course looks like, not only under content, but other tabs here on the top menu, maybe checking calendars or announcements, or even creating a message to the instructor and check that later. So you'll plenty of capabilities under this student preview. You can even download or upload files and check grades. So this will show you how the student will experience your course and will allow you to maybe adapt or edit a couple of things maybe before they start the course, but you can use it anytime within the term. And then you'll find progress tracking when you are experiencing the student preview, because this is part of what your student will have. So you'll see these radio icons on the left area or the left side of each item in your course. And also for modules, learning modules, you'll find this progress bar where your students will track the number of items that they have completed. So we want to help students and instructors track their progress in courses. And this option that is available from the details and actions menu can be enabled anytime during the term. In this case, the progress indicators will have different stages or statuses. If you find an empty circle here, that means that that item haven't been accessed by the student. If it's partially filled, like this one, that means that the item was open. If there's a green check mark, the item was completed. The students will need to mark manually for the items that are non-participatories, for example, documents or links within the course. And if it is an assignment or test under assessments like this one, those will be automatic marked after the student has submitted any attempt or work in them. Also, the completion for folders or modules is automatic when all items are completed. The instructor will have a student tab to follow this same progress within the gradebook. So this is what the student will see and what the students will experience in this visual cue. They can track where they were the last time they were in the course. They can also mark something as started again, maybe to check it later or to review it again later when they go through the course content. But from the instructor view, if you want to check where the student is in the course or maybe have better conversations with them about their progress or the way they are using the course content and structure, you can jump into the gradebook and select a specific student, and you'll see that progress tab within the gradebook when progress track is enabled in a specific course. So that tab will be triggered and the instructor will be able to see the same, like a mirror view of the progress tracking of the student in the course. This is great to check if the students are using, for example, a specific material that you were really excited about, but maybe they are not using it, or the student behavior, if they are jumping right away to submit a test and they are skipping some of the material at the beginning. So you'll have great information there for you to track and maybe contact the student and have a conversation about their progress and how they are using those material. With this, you can monitor students' performance. You can also identify areas for improvement and provide target support in case that's needed. So great. Now you know lots of tools, features, and options for you to make sure that your course has everything you need in it and that you students will have a great experience through your course. Remember that we have available our exemplary course themes and rubric where you can evaluate your course following our rubric that are it's based on four categories for you. You can review and check your course design, the interaction and collaboration items within your course, also the assessment design and the different options that you are providing for learner support. Make sure that you review this under the community or the anthology community for you. And also, if you're not part of our anthology community, make sure that you register for it. You'll be having different opportunities to participate in community programs, maybe submit product feedback if you find something that is missing and that will help a lot your institution to enhance that course development or student experience. And you can also ask and read some answers to the common questions within other institution that uses Blackboard too. Thank you so much for attending this video about this webinar. We are going to provide lots of other recordings for you to make sure that you are modernizing your courses to Ultra. Thank you so much.